Hi, everyone. I'm super excited to be on the call with you today. First, I would like to say thank you for making our time to be on this session with me. But before we proceed, I'd like you all to pause for a minute and think about your organization operating with digital systems implemented over 30 years ago. Think of data volume. Think of security risk, prevalent manual effort, moving flat files all around. Also think about using a mobile phone that was built like 20 years ago in 2026. Today, I will be sharing with you all how Alberta Cancer Foundation transformed their digital footprint from fragmented systems to a unified future with Salesforce and FormAssembly at the center of it all. My name is Tony Arumalaro. I am a Salesforce consultant at Belmar Consulting. I have been at Belmar for about 3 years. Prior to Salesforce, I was a bioinformatics researcher working on identifying malaria targets in humans, hence my PhD. I have been supporting nonprofits to achieve their mission-critical goals for over 5 years. And today, I will be sharing some of my experiences with you all. For today's agenda, I will be introducing Belmar Consulting. I will be highlighting some of the top challenges faced by Alberta Cancer Foundation before switching over to Salesforce. I will be talking about the overall solution, how this was able to address their major challenges. And I will be focusing on solutions with respect to FormAssembly, some of the solutions that were built specifically with FormAssembly. And we will be wrapping up this session. Who is Belmar Consulting? Belmar has been a Salesforce partner for over 15 years. Belmar focuses on two major sectors, the nonprofit and the public sector. Belmar helps nonprofits overcome operational and engagement challenges by delivering tailored Salesforce solutions that streamline fundraising, automate donor communications, and improve data-driven decision-making. For public sector, Belmar helps public sector organizations modernize service delivery and improve transparency by implementing secure, tailored Salesforce solutions that streamline workflows, enhance citizen engagement, and ensure regulatory compliance. In addition to that, Belmar also provides what we call managed service. This is where Belmar provides Salesforce experts to nonprofit organizations using Salesforce for a specified duration of time. Think of probably 6 months, 1 year engagement. The goal is to ensure continuous Salesforce optimization, proactive issue resolution, and that their systems are running smoothly, thereby enabling their teams to focus on their impactful mission. Please visit belmarcloud.com for more information. So we have tons of information on the website and also some articles that would be beneficial for nonprofit on the website. Now, moving on to the top challenges that Alberta Cancer Foundation, which I refer to as ACF, was facing prior to Salesforce solution. ACF have been operating for about 30 years without a major digital overhaul. This leads to operating in a maze of disconnected technologies. This could be frustrating, and each system held different versions of the truth. Think of having a version of a constituent in your volunteer management platform. You have a different version of the same person in your donation management platform. You have the same person, different version in your CRM. So this was crazy at the time. So marketing efforts were split across multiple systems. This could lead to targeting the same individual with different solicitations. And finally, reporting required complex scripted queries. Just for you to pull a report, you need a very skilled individual to pull a report from your CRM. So these were some of the major challenges ACF was facing at the time. Now, to put this in picture, I have this architectural view of what the systems was before Salesforce. At the center of these is Razor's Edge by Blackbird. Now, for some of us, or those of us that we have some experiences with Blackbird, you will agree with me that this is mostly a closed and restrictive system compared to Salesforce, where you have the App Exchange, where you can extend the capability of your Salesforce instance. That is not applicable in Razor's Edge. Now, if you look at the event section, you see we have two platforms for event management. We have Classy, we have OneCourse. Now, these different platforms have their own payment processor, Braintree, Stripe. Now, this is a very disjointed system. And the only way records are being pulled is through manual effort. Someone has to get into OneCourse, download a file, and pull that into the CRM. Now, this is very complicated. Now, if you take a look at the digital marketing space, you see we have multiple instances of Mailchimp. Now, this is also crazy because you can be targeting the same person with different solicitations at the same time. Now, also, if you look at the third party, these are files from other vendors like Benevity, Canada Helps. Now, with these, you see it requires a manual effort to pull these records into the CRM. So this is a very kind of tedious and unstructured architecture. Now, moving into the overall solution here. At its heart of the solution is constituent management. Why? We believe that the constituent is the most important resource for nonprofits. We ensure that all the required information about how entities are interacting with each other, like the relationships, the affiliations, and also the engagement in terms of donor engagement, volunteering, all this information are readily available on the constituent record. This was a major win for ACF. On top of that, we have other aspects of this solution relating to fundraising management. In this space, we ensure that all the platforms related to fundraising are integrated or are synchronized with the CRM, with Salesforce. Think about the donation from event, donation related to social media, donations from the online donation form. So all these, we ensure that all these platforms were synchronized, and Salesforce is the source of truth. Also, with grant management, we have the inbound and outbound grant management. So for the inbound, basically this talks about the grants ACF received from funders, for example. So this is being managed using the out-of-the-box opportunity object in Salesforce, no extra build. And for the outbound grant management, we made use of the free app called the Outbound Fund module by Salesforce for managing outbound grant. Now, this enables ACF to synchronize all the requests and the allocations related to grant were synchronized, and there is visibility from the CRM. So you are able to see from the CRM who is requesting grant. On top of that, we implemented the Experience Cloud to allow external users to view or to see available programs or available funding programs, as well as track all these different stages of the applications. So for event and campaign, we focused on ensuring that campaign records are structured in a way to enable efficient reporting. Think of having a campaign that runs a multi-year campaign. So you want to ensure that you are able to do a roll-up at the parent campaign to ensure that you have visibility into how these campaigns are performing year to year. Also, we ensure that all the event platforms are integrated with the CRM, which is Salesforce. So this is also very critical. So from Salesforce, you are able to see all the engagement from all the event platform. And finally, here we have the marketing piece. So for the marketing, we use the MCAE. This is the marketing account engagement, that is Marketing Cloud account engagement by Salesforce as well. So basically, this enables us to automate and synchronize all the communications and engagement we have with constituent and prospect with the CRM. So because MCAE and Salesforce are have a seamless connection, so we are able to have create drip campaigns. We're able to monitor engagement, clicks, and everything right using the MCAE, and this information is being surfaced in Salesforce. Okay, now FormAssembly was a big part of this solution, and the question is, why did we choose FormAssembly? In the next slide, here we have three major factors why ACF decided to opt for FormAssembly. Number one is the intuitiveness of the user interface. Yeah, so if for those of us that we've used FormAssembly in the past, you will agree that it's very easy on the form builder for you to be able to create a form, for example, or a survey. This is one key factor. You have a very good user experience using FormAssembly, ability to navigate, to view all the responses, and to navigate to your connectors. All these are very intuitive. So this was a key factor. And the second factor is the ability to do a multi-level lookup. Now, here we have an example where we want to look up on the account, and we want to filter these account records based on the record type. Now, account is one object. We need to look up to account. Then from account, we need to look up to record type object. So we have this ability to look up into multiple levels of object. And this is critical in the solutioning for the online donation form, which I'm going to be talking shortly about. And the third factor that I want to mention is calculated fields. So calculated fields enables us to use FormAssembly as a staging area for data transformation before committing to the database. Take, for example, on your form, you have a field where a respondent, someone filling the form, can select a quantity, and you want to ensure that the total price, like the unit price times multiplied by the quantity, is being done within FormAssembly before sending that to Salesforce. So with calculations, we are able to have that done in FormAssembly. So it gives us a lot of options, a lot of flexibility. Now, these three factors were key in decision on to moving forward with FormAssembly at the time. Now, I'm going to deep dive into some of the solutions related to FormAssembly. I will introduce these solutions, but I will go into more details in subsequent slides. So the first is the online donation form. So with FormAssembly, we were able to create a secure and customizable form that was able to integrate seamlessly with Salesforce and other payment processors. So this was very key for us, our ability to create forms that we can design to match the branding of ACF, and as well as the ability to make the ability to choose the payment processors and the ability to make sure that we have secured donation form. So these were critical at the time for us, and we were able to use FormAssembly to meet this requirement. Then the other solution with FormAssembly is the outreach campaign. So by definition, outreach campaign refers to a structured, data-driven initiative to contact, engage, or convert potential donors or existing donors. So you have a way that you want to contact, you want to convert this potential donor. So that is what our outreach campaign is. Excuse me. So with FormAssembly, we are able to design what we call the email appeal, which is a kind of subset of outreach campaign. So we're able to reach out to targeted people, and we're able to make ask. And also we factor the interest or the affinity of these individuals in sending this ask or this emails. So the FormAssembly enables us to be able to keep track of these emails, and as well, we're able to keep track of what campaign influences a donation. I'll be speaking a little bit more about that shortly. And the last part of this solution was the payment processor. Like I mentioned, with FormAssembly, we are not locked to a single payment processor. We have the flexibility of making a choice of which payment processor we are going to be using. So there are a couple of options I'll be talking about shortly as well. Now let's move on to the online donation form. Here, I would request if we can go to ACF Alberta Cancer.ca. I think that's where we can get this website, and the form we have can see how this form looks like. So I just put a recording just for us to see how that looks like here. So here, if you go to the website and click on Donate Now, you have this form showing on your screen. And basically, some of the functionalities I want to point our attention to is the ability to have predefined amount. We are able to have conditional visibility, like if you want to make recurring donation, you have different set of fields that are displayed. Also, you are able to make not only one-time donation, recurring donation was implemented, also ability to recognize tribute donation as well. So when someone makes a donation and wants to make tribute as well, in addition to the donation, we're able to create that section also on the website. I mean, on the donation form. Also, we have the credit card field validation, which is amazing out of the box. If you try to put in a credit card that is not like the date expired or expired credit card, these are kind of flagged instantly by the form. So in addition, part of what we implemented is the duplicate matching. So from if someone makes a donation and is coming back again to make a donation, we ensure that duplicate records are not created in the CRM in Salesforce. So with the connectors, we have the ability to ensure that these records do not create duplicates. And the other part is the account lookup I mentioned earlier. You are able to look up if you want to make donation on behalf of an organization. You're able to look up into what organization already existed within ACF, or you can create a new organization record. So this is just a tip of some of the things that we have on the website, on the donation form. Now, in terms of the outreach campaign, here we have, I want you to think about an email that you receive where you are being solicited to make a donation. And this email is actually something you have some affinity for, like you have a passion, or you have something that draws you close to that concern. or to that email. Let me put it that way. So you receive that email, and once you click on donate now, for example, what happens is it takes you to a donation form. And once you make that donation, on Salesforce side, we're able to know the specific campaign that influences that donation, because we might have multiple appeals running at the same time for different segment of people. So with these functionality in FormAssembly, which is the prefill connector here, we're able to create a prefill connector, and we are able to track the ID from the URL, and we're able to pull the campaign record using this prefill connector from Salesforce. We're able to get a campaign name or whatever ID we want to get. We're able to pull that from Salesforce, and we're able to keep track of what campaign influences a donation. This is critical for reporting, for campaign performance evaluation, and all that. So with this, we're able to create that functionality for ACF. And the third part, which is the payment processors. Now, I'm just going to talk about how flexible and how simple this is with FormAssembly. So you have different options: Stripe, Chargent, Authorize.net, IATS. So these are different options that you have. And the good part is FormAssembly is always adding more connectors. So FormAssembly is always improving on this. So you expect to have improvement on the choices that you would have with the connector in the future. And in terms of the simplicity, basically select what connector you want to use. Log in into your account, like what you have here. You have where you can just log in and you connect the payment processor to the form this way. And basically you do a matching of all the credit card field. You map that, and boom, you are done. So it is very simple to set up, which is a very important factor for us as the implementation partner as well. So now let's move on to where the favorite part for me, which is flexing my muscles, my flow, my Salesforce muscle in this entire implementation. So here, I'm showing you the workflow. Apologies if these look so tiny, but I'm just going to do a walkthrough of what this is talking about. Now, due to the nature of the operations of ACF, like the recurring donation, ACF processes recurring donation on the 1st and on the 15th. So if you make a recurring donation on the 2nd, you need to select. You have two options. The donation won't be processed on the 2nd. It will probably be processed on the 15th. Now, due to this peculiar requirement, we didn't map the FormAssembly to the object in Salesforce directly. Rather, we have a staging object in Salesforce that receives the donation information. Now, this is not, it doesn't receive the credit card information. That is being handled by the payment processor. All other information, the donor information, the tribute information, these are information being captured in the staging object. And what happens is that the payment processor creates two major records in the CRM, which is the donor record and the opportunity record. Now, for this automation to work, we need to ensure that these two records has been created. Now, this is why we have a kind of loop. So the brickwork automation is the staging object in Salesforce. Now we have these loops that keep checking if these records have been created, because it is not synchronous kind of connection. So it kind of has some delay. So we ensure that we create a kind of loop to ensure that before this flow proceed, all these records have been created. So once these records are created, whether it is one-time donation or a recurring donation, what happens is that it sends tax receipt as part of the operation. And also it makes an update to the opportunity record. There are a couple of fields that needs to be updated. That is being done by the flow. And also, if the opportunity is closed one, then we want to flag that this new contact, this new constituent is a donor. So we update the donor record. So this gives a high-level view of what happens once someone makes a donation. Now, here I have a screenshot of what the flow looks like. So in the back end, in the flow side, we have something like this, different path, run after 1 minute, run after 5 minutes, to ensure that these key records are created before the flow is being triggered. Cool. Now, to wrap up, there are 3 items I want to talk about, and I also share some lessons. So 1, flexibility. I've mentioned this earlier. So with FormAssembly, we have the flexibility of design, the flexibility of workflows, the flexibility of payment processors. Now, this is one key benefit of using FormAssembly for this solution, and it meets a lot of challenges ACF was facing at the time, having Braintree, different processors, having a web form that does not really look, I'll call it elegant at that time. And all with FormAssembly, we're able to have all these done perfectly. Then the other benefit is the security part. Because we are handling credit card, we want to ensure that all the interactions on the website, all the data that has been placed on the website are securely handled. So with FormAssembly, you are assured of the capability to ensure that all the security standards have been complied with, like your GDPR, HIPAA, and all other standards. So because of the security checks that have been built into FormAssembly, you are able to, your mind should be at rest that yes, all the security part have been handled. Now, the last part is the agentic form. This is very interesting. This is also something new that was implemented by FormAssembly. Now, they think about creating a form, and that takes 10 hours creating a form. With a simple prompt, you can create a form, a complete form with FormAssembly. Now, this is a game changer. As implementation partners, we spent a lot of times creating forms, but with this ability, we are simply able to put in the prompt, like you are able to upload like a PDF version of the form you want to create, or a JPEG version of that form. You can take a screenshot of the form, put it in FormAssembly, then you have the form created for you. So these are some of the benefits. Now, talking about lessons, one lesson that I would like to share while we're implementing this is the lookup. Now, we're trying to do a lookup on accounts, but the accounts object contains more than 50,000 records. Now, we have a limitation with Salesforce where it's called governance limit, where you can't query more than like 50,000 records. So if you hit 50,000, you won't see all of them. So we weren't seeing a couple of records shows in the lookup. Now, that could lead to creating duplicate account records. Right. So one way that you want to keep that in mind when you're doing your lookups, because of that governance limit. And one way that we were able to go around that is we use the where clause to kind of filter a lot of those accounts that we feel that we don't need to show on that lookup. So that was the workaround that we did at that time. So yeah, so that's one lesson that I can share. I know we are almost at time, and I'm going to check if we have any questions, and I can take those questions. So again, I want to say thank you for your time and for joining this session. Let's see if we have any questions. Okay, questions. Yeah, Yeah, thank you so much for your time. And you can visit our website, belmarcloud.com, for more information about Belmar. Thank you.